Alright, hello everybody, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at when we can expect to see that snow that you're probably wondering, where is that snow, so when can we expect to see it? When can we expect to see some storminess? It's been pretty dry so far here in December across the East Coast. You've had severe weather outbreaks in the plains and the central, more so in the Midwest and the central Mississippi Valley. And then you've had feet and feet and feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains and across the west, as you can see on this season-to-date snowfall map. So when are things going to change? Well, everything is based on teleconnections. Our whole pattern is based on teleconnections. And these are areas of sea surface temperature anomalies across the globe, areas of best thunderstorm convection basically across the globe. And that's what guides our pattern, in the end. So let's take a look at the PNA first of all. Let's take a look at the Pacific Ocean because, in my opinion, the Pacific Ocean runs our pattern a lot more than the Atlantic Ocean does. And that comes in the form of the PNA and the EPO and the PDO, and of course you have the ENSO. So the PNA is unfavorable, and it's going to be staying unfavorable in that negative phase for cold and storminess here in the east. However, the EPO is going to be actually coming down negative. So this is the opposite of the PNA. So you want this to be negative if you want some of that troughing here in the east and a little bit more ridging out west. So we could be heading back towards neutral around the new year, but we'll take negative for at least a week or two as far as the EPO is concerned. NAO is in the same boat. We've been positive, but we're heading negative. That's good news. Negative is generally a more favorable phase for some blocking up towards Greenland, perhaps a weakened polar vortex. So the NAO isn't quite as influential as the PNA and the EPO are, but it can definitely help out. And the AO is kind of in a similar boat because it's in a similar area as the NAO, and we'll also be heading slightly negative as far as the AO is concerned. So lastly, we have the MJO. This is also another teleconnection that actually measures best convection across the equatorial areas, really, for a lot of the globe. So we've been in phase 6, best convections between the maritime continent and the West Pacific. We're heading into phase 7. That's a little bit better as far as not quite as much as a ridge over our area, but phase 7 still is not too great for us. Heading into January, we could see slightly above average temperatures if the MJO were to run the whole thing. Of course, the MJO does not run the whole story, and then you have slightly below average precipitation in southern PA, slightly above average precipitation in northern PA, but it's not that clear cut. It's not that easy. So overall, you have average precipitation suggested by a phase 7 MJO in January. Will we get any help from the polar vortex? The polar vortex really, really helped us out last January, and it was translated in the form of that crazy storminess that we had last February. So unfortunately, I think the MJO, I think the polar vortex is going to stay locked up over the North Pole for the most part, and that's not really going to help us out. So I don't want to say you can completely write off the polar vortex, but I really don't see a major sudden stratospheric warming event or polar vortex displacement. So now let's take a look at what models are saying here on the nice fancy map graphics, of course. We'll take a look at precipitation first of all. This is actually I think it's a decently accurate model. This is CFS, but you have to take a look at the right one. And of course, as you get closer to the month that the forecast is covering, of course, you'll get a little bit more accurate. But overall, the CFS has been consistent in showing that active storm track right over Pennsylvania in January. And what did it have in December, because we want to make sure that it was at least right for December. So overall it had a very inflated southeast ridge, as you can see. So you had below average precipitation in southern Pennsylvania and average for the rest of the state. So it did a decent job on that, but it did an even better job on temperatures. So what's the CFS showing for temperatures? It's been pretty consistent in this zonal pattern, which is an alright pattern for us, especially if we can get those below average temperature anomalies that far south into the northern US. you're going to have a storm track that basically runs right over our area, and you're not going to have quite as much storminess out on the west coast. So I think you're going to have a lot of those mixed bag events here in Pennsylvania and especially southern PA, where you see it starting off with snow and then it quickly changes over to sleet, freezing rain, and then rain. Perhaps northern PA does a little bit better as far as hanging on to that snow. But I think you're going to have a lot of those events that basically run right over our area, maybe just south of our area, but still you're going to start as snow, and then you'll change to kind of that mixed bag, and then you'll change to rain. I don't really see January as a month where you're going to have lots and lots of snow. I think you're going to be around normal as far as snow is concerned. And the best shot at above average snowfall is going to be probably lake effect snowbelts and overall across northern Pennsylvania. So that's what the models are showing. It's at a pretty good job for December, as you can see. This is basically exactly what the CFS had for December, with the heart of those above average temperatures felt across the central plains, the southern plains especially. So my expectations for January are you're going to have slightly above average temperatures, you're going to have slightly above average precipitation, you're going to have average snowfall, and you're going to have lots of those mixed bag events. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'm going to be posting more on this channel, especially for individual winter storms here. Hopefully we'll be getting a little bit more of those as we head into January. And so you can always subscribe. We're going to have these videos available in the PA Weather Action app as well, so you can easily access these in the app, which you can always download by searching PA Weather Action on the App Store and Google Play. Feel free to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and we'll be back very soon talking about hopefully some winter storms here in Pennsylvania. So thanks for watching, everybody, and have a nice Christmas.